First bid for premiership points in 1992, taking on Footscray. Adelaide will start this match red-hot favourites, having beaten Footscray already this year in the Foster's Cup, but they will be without three key players, including last year's club best and fairest winner Mark Micken. A warm, sunny day at West Lakes, although a 3 to 4 goal breeze is favouring the northern end of Football Park. Footscray won the toss and will take first use of that advantage as we now take you to the opening bounce.
Here we go. Football action at Football Park commences for season 1992. The Dogs kicking with the breeze. Negri stands his ground. Liberatore gets the first kick of the match up towards the half-forward line. Ballantyne is hammered out of the way. Gets the hand pass out now. It's wide, however. Kolyanouk under pressure. Sweeps it even further wide towards the boundary line. McGuinness applies the tackle, much to the delight of this biased crowd. Marshall handballs back inside. Liberatore gets it off once again. The Bulldogs attacking early, up towards centre half forward. No one at home, however, and the mark is taken by Smith.
And it's Lee taking the hand pass, kicking into an open space on centre wing. Chance there for Brownie, run down by Callett. Footscray souped up for this match. Gets the hand pass away to Maynard. The kick towards centre half forward by that player is taken by Foster. He brilliantly tackled. Ingerson gets it off to Liptak. And Liptak's kick is wide, out of bounds on the full in the right forward pocket for the Crows. Just too, Robbo. Actually, there have been a couple of fierce ones over there on the other side of the right half forward flank for Footscray. Kolyanouk went for McGuinness at 100 miles an hour and missed him. Ball nearly in the centre. Darryl Hart away to McGuinness. Just gets his right foot to the ball, which was important. Callett's a chance between half back and back pocket. Round onto the left foot. He's forced to kick long and does it pretty well too. Centre wing, no mark taken. Play on, no, over the shoulder. And the free kick to be taken by Maynard on centre wing for the Crows.
Rod Maynard send the Crows into attack. Good looking drop punt up towards the 50-metre line. McPherson at the back, pushing the ball along in front of him, runs across half-back, then gives a good hand pass away to Peter Foster. Little left foot chip goes up towards centre wing. Effective enough, however. Charles it was. Now to half forward, just too long for Romano Negri. Ball spills free, Lee gets it out, and the Crows out of trouble once again. Bickley's kick comes back towards centre wing, and once again Justin Charles, the ever enthusiastic Justin Charles, is the stumbling block.
Yeah, read that well, Sandy. That breeze is quite strong, going from right to left on your screen.
Charles, long and low. Ballantyne was the flyer at the back, couldn't take it. Hawkins to Liberatore. He could be the first score of the match as Libber's kick bounces in towards goal, and there's the first one on the board to the Dogs. Liberatore, reigning best and fairest champion from the Western Oval, gets the first for the day. They lead by 6 points.
Well, they certainly want to make the most of this. Doug Hawkins, their skipper, won the toss. Elected to kick with this breeze, which is quite strong. We've estimated about 3 goals to that end, and they've certainly got to make the most of it. And they've done that in this early part of the game with Liberatore opening up. It's a bit fluky, the breeze. It's certainly the flags on top of the stands out in the outer, indicating that it's blowing quite strongly to the left of screen as Wind contests the ruck work. McPherson kicks Footscray to centre half forward. No mark taken. Free kick picked out of the marking contest. It's going to Footscray to be taken by Grant, held by the jumper. Grant from centre half forward. Kicks long. Gets good distance. It may bounce through. No, just to the right. And it's through for a behind. So Bulldogs 1-1. Lead Adelaide. Yet to score. Lee for Adelaide to kick the ball back into play. Looking for a short. And it's on. Into the back pocket. Smith has made good position, takes the mark and plays on quickly. Not a bad kick either, finds Maynard. Didn't have much room, but he, whoops, good precision. Oh, the kick is smothered by Charles and taken over. So Maynard a little disappointed with his efforts there. Well done by Charles, kept his eye on the ball, stood his mark, stood his ground well, and just put his hands out there. Did take his eye off the footy, smothered very well.
Ball just forward of centre wing for the Bulldogs. Negri up against Charles. Atkins, vice captain this year, but it's Negri who finishes with it. Now the Dogs a chance to go forward through Hart. It could be a free kick down the ground here.
Yeah, Kolyanouk too heavy on Hart after. It's got to be downfield.
So Darryl Hart is up. He's quite okay. Anthony Ingerson will hand it over to his teammate, and the Crows now have a chance to go deep into attack through Matthew Liptak. Up towards half forward, no mark taken. pack of players there. No one able to get out. There's a tackle too high on Marshall.
Previously Sandy, the umpire go for pushing the back, but it was just a smidge high, I thought.
Smidge. Big smidge.
They're big over here. We'll see this again. Definitely very high.
So David Marshall, one of the veterans of this Crows outfit. A chance to post his sides first. It's a big crowd, but it's very hushed at the moment. Let's see what he can do. Kicking from 40 metres, that's setting in the air, and he's gone for distance, and it's just gone away to the left with a little bit of the breeze as well, and one behind. So the first score on the board for the Adelaide Crows. They trail by one straight kick. May even be worth perhaps a little more than 2 goals, Roscoe.
It possibly could, as Robbo said. It's a bit fluky, but certainly 3 goals, I would say.
Campbell's kick, well, it's almost down to centre wing. Prodigious kick. Clue gets it across the Hart. Here's a chance now for McGuinness, forward of centre. He kicks up towards the half-forward line. Good-looking kick. Out comes Hodgins. Was that around the shoulder? Campbell was too high. And so Scott Hodges, who averaged only around 3 goals a game last year, will be looking for a solid start today. Well, he wastes no time. Quickly on the drop punt on its way. Looks pretty good, but again, the wind doing the trick and taking it away to the left. Holding it up, and another behind.
Yes, you've almost got to aim for the middle of the right hand, between the middle of the right hand goal and point post. Yep, to make sure you get that accuracy.
Actually, Ross, if you play this side of the ground, it looks as though there wouldn't be all that much difficulty in taking the ball to the right hand end.
Certainly defend the other side, but come through and attack after you got through the centre. Robbo down this side.
Campbell kicks it long. It's gone 65 metres towards the Footscray goal, and McPherson gets through. Handball away to Baxter, who loves to run with the football. This time he gives the hand pass wide to Wallace. Wallace's pass, just a little bit too far for Ballantyne. In comes Grant. The tackle probably a little bit extended on Ben Hart. And young Ben Hart, 18 years of age, will take the free kick in the back pocket for the Adelaide Crows.
He's holding on here. He got rid of the footy and just the tackle carried on there. Free kick.
Hart. Nice kick. Close to the boundary line. The wind has taken it over on the full, so certainly the breeze, even though it's favouring the left-hand end, is blowing towards that outer side, maybe into that right half-forward pocket area. Here's Coleman for Footscray. A long kick into the pocket. Hawkins just gets rid of his opponent. Maybe, no, he's paid the mark. Good body work, Ross, or maybe a free kick against Doug Hawkins.
Very close to a free kick there, Robbo, because he did use his body well, but accentuated it far too much. If you see it again, just push Lee. No, I play that. That's fair.
Well, he's got the football, and the umpire's given the all clear. So from that right forward pocket, Doug Hawkins shoots for goal. Does it pretty well too. Well done. Hawkins gets his first goal. Footscray get their second, and they lead 2-1 to Adelaide, 2 behinds.
As I mentioned, after Liberatore's first goal for the Dogs, they've got to make sure they get 5 or 6 in this quarter at least. We see this mark again. Lee in front, got the front posse. Hawkins using that right shoulder well. I thought he accentuated too much, but it was a very good kick, aiming on this occasion to the left-hand side.
It's Tony McGuinness who sends the Crows into attack down towards the half-forward line. But only as far as that half-forward line. Repelling it was Stanfield. Gets it back towards centre wing once again. Liberatore's been busy early. So too Atkins. Has it now, but he's in trouble. Hart applies the tackle. Does get his kick, however, and it bounces down towards the half-forward line once again. Footscray through Collinop down to full forward. No mark going to be paid. Ballantyne tries to shovel it on. That's good play by the Dogs. Baxter's at the back there. Can't do anything with it. Gets the hand pass out to Atkins. He's claimed by Hart. The ball spills free, and they're going to lose it. David Brown. Sneaking clear for the Crows. Out towards centre wing, and the mark taken by Matthew Liptak.
Liptak wide between half-forward and centre wing. Kicks it towards centre half-forward. Marking contest, no one can take it. Down goes Liberatore, and surely that must be a free kick to the diminutive Footscray Rover.
Definitely is.
And umpire having a word to Steve McPherson, who came in to remonstrate with the Adelaide Crows player Ingerson. The tackle just a little too fierce. Liberatore's kick a little high, but Baxter was able to get back and mark. Tregenza, the player, trying to interfere there, but up towards full forward. No mark taken. Lee's under pressure. Well shepherded by young Hart. And the Crows get clear. The ball out towards centre wing. Klug, he's got 3 players to beat. Kellett it is for Footscray. Kicks in towards full forward. It goes through the player. Now, a chance for Footscray through Hawkins. Can he kick his second? He can. Well done, Doug Hawkins. Hawkins 2 goals. Liberatore 1. Footscray have kicked 3-1 and they lead Adelaide, who are 2 behind.
And they're reading the ball better in the air too, Robert. They're feeding off the packs very well. Reading the ball as it spills to ground there. Klug had to battle 3 players, you called it. And Kellett kicked there whilst almost underground. Did well there, and Hawk just roving that very well and a clever kick.
So there's Doug Hawkins, 2 goals to his name, and earning his posse in the Footscray team up at that forward pocket. Ruck contest, Wine gets it. McDermott goes after the football. Chance now for Tui. Tui's quick kick to half forward. Charles and Tasker. Tasker a little bit better on the ground maybe, and he's able to bundle it over the boundary line just outside 50 metres. Right half forward for Footscray. Well, there's a belief that Footscray's 4 talls on the forward line. Coleman, Grant, Charles and Ballantyne is a disadvantage, but we'll wait and see. Atkins hard up against the boundary line, shoots, and it goes across goal. It may have hit the behind post on the full, and therefore it is a free kick to the Adelaide side to be taken in the back pocket by Lee. His kick, well marked by Smith, well done. Handballs away to Tasker. Tregenza it was. Tregenza's kick up towards half forward where Foster has control of the football. 150 games to Peter Foster. Kick back towards half forward. No one home. Maynard marked safely on his chest. Kicks it back towards the wing, and the mark is taken by Ingerson. Player on his own here is Liptak. He's a little too slow. Didn't quite sum it up well enough. McPherson couldn't quite mark. Foster in there to give a chop out. Now a chance for Tregenza. Handballs to the player under pressure. McGuinness, his hand pass. Marshall, maybe a little slow, but he's able to slip the tackle from Wallace and kicks it in towards the front of the goals. It's an excellent kick by Marshall. No one home when the ball hits the ground. Hodges forced to go for the mark and then try and recover quickly. Hart in there now. He's well hemmed in by Stanfield, and the ball will be forced to a bounce. Hard up against the boundary line in that left forward pocket for Adelaide.
They're conceiving that ball too, carrying too far. Hodges really set himself for the mark, took a few steps back, but even found with that the ball carrying over his head.
Wind again, straight over the boundary line and a throw in. The Dogs at the moment by 17 points, but they're kicking with the breeze. If you may have just joined us here at Football Park, as usual, a monster crowd and very warm conditions. They've had a lot of rain in the past 24 hours. Klug's kick is high. Foster's underneath it. Hodges is there too. Hammered away from him. Liberatore a chance to clear. Under pressure, he does get it away. Down towards the half-back flank. Tregenza first to it. Now McGuinness. Back to Tregenza, who'll soccer off the ground or attempt to. Liptak. Poor hand pass. Chance for the Dogs to get out of trouble. Only went to centre wing as far as Coleman. He gets a kick, but that's going to drop short onto the chest of Nedry.
Well, there should have been a handball onto McPherson, who'd run about 20 metres away. Ball play there by Coleman.
Tasker. High to half forward. Wine setting himself.
Ingerson, good mark. No, it's gone the other way. I would have played that.
Foster, man in front. Kick is very wide. Rowan Smith, boy from Yarraville, on the outer side of Football Park, goes up towards half forward. Charles trying to cut across in front. Ballantyne is there, wearing him like a glove is Ben Hart, and it's over the line.
Mentioning on the bench too, Sandy, for the Crows, we have Wiedemann and also McIntyre.
Negri beaten for it by Coleman on that occasion. Here's a chance for Grant, but he overruns it at the critical time. Now tries to go out the back door to Atkins. He's under pressure. Good work by Tasker, but he gets it back to Grant. He threw it out, he said. So they've lost it.
Tasker's in the left back pocket for the Adelaide Crows and kicks it nicely back towards centre wing. Marking contest. No one can control the ball. McPherson beaten for it by Klug. Hand pass away to Liptak. Well tackled there. And Adelaide under pressure. Brown kicks it towards centre half forward. Brilliant gather by Ingerson. Goes wide with a hand pass to Marshall. Under a little bit of pressure. He gives it to Jamison. Jamison's kick to full forward. Hodges A real hard one to get when the ball went to ground then. But Maynard, away to Klug. Klug's pass is okay. McGuinness has got open space. What can he do with the right foot? Kick a goal. Steve Wallace and David Marshall,
both having bad injuries last year. Marshall with a shoulder and Wallace with a broken arm, missed the second half of the season.
Umpires today, John Harvey and Grant Vernon. Steve McPherson away to Baxter. Baxter goes straight towards goal. This could bounce through. It's going and gone. Through for a behind. Footscray supporters watching at home would have been a little anxious there, hoping that it may have bounced to the right. They had a little bit of luck with the first goal through Tony Liberatore, the ball bouncing through. That one not kind.
Oh, he said it was a deliberate kick.
Well, good luck to him. He's got a goal on the scoreboard. The kick-in comes to this near side. Good punch by Wind. Liberatore shrugs the tackle. Can he kick his second? Oh, yes he can. Tony Liberatore, the Brownlow medalist. Second goal to Liberatore, and Footscray get their fourth. They're 4-2. Adelaide 1-2.
And Robbo, he certainly meant that one. Again, roved it very well. Very deliberate kick. And they certainly need that one. They need, as I mentioned earlier on, 5 or 6 goals in this quarter with the breeze. Liberatore just breaking the tackle there of Maynard and finished off very well.
Two to Liberatore, 2 to Hawkins, and Footscray 4-2, leading Adelaide 1-2. Back to the centre bounce again. McDermott holds it in the middle there, and we'll see another bounce. You may see a sign here on the turf for Football Park this afternoon, Adelaide 1998, and just be wondering what it is. There are officials from the Commonwealth Games here today inspecting this arena and others around, and we wish Adelaide all the best in their bid for the 98 Commonwealth Games. Marshall sees Wallace soccer it off the ground down towards Glenn Coleman, roaming across that half-forward line, but it's Smith who intercepts. Just goes with a short little chip, finds David Marshall. The crowd like it. Further up towards the half-forward flank, he's got David Brown running loose there. Brown stabbing in towards the 50-metre line. Not far enough, however. Hodges has got to come out and apply the tackle, and it's a good one too on Peter Foster. And we'll find ourselves with a bounce in the left forward pocket.
Well done by both players there. Foster for attacking the footy, had to go for it, try to avoid the oncoming tackle from Hodges. Couldn't do so, and it was a good tackle by Hodges.
Left forward pocket for the Adelaide Crows. Brown gets it away quickly. Liptak also gives a little bit of ground before they can make some. The kick is high. Hodges is coming in late. No one able to take it. McGuinness comes off his hands. That could be a goal. Kick by Matthew Liptak. His first, and the Crows second. 2-2, 14, Footscray 4-2, 26.
And we've seen some good roving off the pack so far. Liberatore a couple of times and Doug Hawkins in the forward line. On this occasion, Liptak. Ingerson comes back against the play here. Courageous stuff there, but reading off very well there from the tap from McGuinness. Intentional or not, Liptak did very well.
He certainly did, Matthew Liptak. He's a lively player, no matter where he plays. Footscray lead by 2 goals, but we've decided that they may need to lead by more than that at quarter time. The kick's certainly going to the right-hand end of the ground, holding up in the breeze, so it's important that Footscray get maybe 1, possibly 2 more goals before quarter time. Negri, Wind. No one can really do much with it. Wind goes in with the foot again. Negri, Atkins, Kellett. Wind at ground level, not bad. Kellett, little tap on, not quite far enough. Oh, Bickley was in there. Now a chance for McGuinness to get the ball clear, but the free kick has been picked out of it. It's going to McGuinness, is it? No.
Yes, it is.
It is?
Yeah, the tackle was late for too long after he'd got rid of the footy.
McGuinness, a lively customer in this Adelaide Crows team. Certainly gives his all. Not a bad kick either into the breeze. Up towards centre half forward, no mark taken. Chance there for Tui. His handball was blocked. Hart, Ingerson, Brown, Klug. Always looks as though he's got half an hour to dispose of the football, and then does it brilliantly and gives it to Hodges. He may have dropped it, Sandy, do you think?
The important part there, Robbo, Klug not dishing out the ball too quickly, not panicking, just held onto it for long enough to dispose. He had a handball option, now the kick. And Sandy, you're not happy with the way, whether he held that long enough? I think he did.
I haven't said a word, Roscoe.
That's why. If only the people at home could see the facial expressions. Hodges from directly in front, and he misses. Gee, that's critical. Throws the grass in the air to see just where he made the error in the tricky wind. But he's kicked to behind. That's his first score for the afternoon. Tony Campbell goes long again. Kicks it well outside 50 metres, nearly to the wing. Chance for the Bulldogs. Stanfield, hand pass, not quite accurate enough. Atkins tries to get it to Baxter. Oh, a little high. Marshall the tackler. So Baxter will take the free kick on centre wing.
Pretty busy, Roscoe, Baxter.
My word. Oh, he's a very fine running player.
Goes long, down towards half forward, bounces over the back. Hawkins has kicked too, but it's not going to be free. He's going to get a free kick.
He did it well.
He did well. Again, Lee, there's been a few of these free kicks played so far where the players are hanging on too long after the ball has been disposed of. On that occasion, Hawkins played it up a little bit.
I don't know whether he ever really had control of the football.
Well, that's the other thing. See, he's been held by the jumper initially. He really never grabbed it with his hands. And again, the tackle laid not in possession of the footy.
So the Bulldogs skipper for his third, and he makes no mistake. 3 goals to Doug Hawkins, 2 to Tony Liberatore, and Footscray answer the challenge. They are 5-2, leading 2-3.
Yes, as Robbo mentioned, as we just watched this free again, you see initially Lee just pulling the jumper, the ball coming down, and Hawkins actually grabbing it, touching hands, letting it go. Some might say he dropped it, but just did it very cleverly.
Three goals to Doug Hawkins and stunned silence.
Yes, Bickley's now got the task on him too, Sandy. Lee's been moved off.
A big roar because warming up on the sidelines is Wayne Wiedemann for the Crows. Lee tries to go through after the centre bounce but can't do anything with it. Still tucked at the bottom. Eventually it comes out to Atkins. A hurried left foot kick almost smothered off the boot. Down towards half forward. Charles beaten for it. Back towards centre wing. Through Liberatore it goes. At the back is McGuinness. He'd love to do well against his old club. Marshall. Further down towards the left half forward flank and Liptak. Ripped off the football and has lost it.
There's free kick there, and the interchange being made. Wiedemann on and Scott Lee off. Wiedemann will go and take up Doug Hawkins, which will allow Bickley to go down the ground onto Collier.
The sounds of the crowd, there could be some fireworks there. Negri. On centre wing, the big man. Goes towards half forward. Again, the wind making it difficult for all players, but Johnny Klug applying a tackle on Steve McPherson that is far too high.
Good to see with Klug and Ingerson across that half forward line, particularly Klug, who's used to playing the key role at centre half forward, perhaps taking more of a flanking role. He's doing it quite well so far.
Bernard Toohey, former Cat, former Bear, and now entrenched at the Western Oval. Smith's kick is high towards the left half forward flank. Back towards Johnny Klug, the player we were just talking about. And now a chance for the Crows to go forward through Bickley. Over the top it goes. McDermott looks for the free kick. Oh dear. Doesn't come his way. Foster clears with a booming punt kick. Down towards centre wing. Smith at the back could be first to it. Has it now, but he's under pressure. Heads towards the boundary line.
The umpire down at right-handed won't get out of Adelaide tonight, right. I'll tell you what.
Well, the crowd thinking if Hawkins got one at the other end for a similar sort of thing, why didn't the skipper for the Crows get one?
Right half forward for Footscray. Chance now for Grant. Oh, talented man for a 6'4". Collinuke. Shot for goal is another Footscray goal. Steve Collinuke gets Footscray's 6th goal, and their scoreboard now looking rather healthy. 6-2 to 2-3 with that wind going behind them in this first term.
Yeah, good quick hands here as Robbo called by Grant. Just stood his ground very well. moved it on very quickly to Colin. That's a very good kick too, to carry into that breeze, with that breeze, sorry, the breeze going from left to right.
Just over 2 minutes remaining, 6-2 to 2-3, and before Mrs. Toohey gets upset, of course, your son wasn't with the Bears, he was with Sydney Swans, and he was very good too. Now he's with the Dogs. And they're looking the goods at the moment, down towards Charles on that half-forward line. He's got to try and hammer it to make valuable metres, but no one there to help him. It's Smith who goes for the hand pass, but it's too wide on this occasion for Sean Tasker at over the line.
Whilst we've spoken about the breeze a fair bit this quarter, it will be quite a relief for the players to have a breeze because it's very sticky out there, and they'll need that relief. That question.
Another bounce on the outer side. Footscray do have their fans here, which is good. There is the Footscray chant slightly in the background as Atkins storms clear after the bounce, goes on to the left foot, pulls it in towards goal. Hawkins at the back, can't take the mark. He recovers well. Can he pull it round his body? He can, but not quite far enough. And one line.
A couple of players calling for it, but if you're in that position, Robbo, your first instinct is kick the goal, particularly with so little time left.
Did say that Footscray had their supporters here. That's good to see.
Tasker, short kick. Little bit of a risk, but it comes off. Hart, handball over the top. Not all that accurate, but Tasker's got time to recover and kick it long out towards the half-back area. Smith running with the flight of the ball. The bounce is kind for him. Hand pass a little awkward for Tregenza, but he's quick enough to make a little bit of space and eventually gets his kick away. The supporters screaming for a free kick as Tregenza was flattened. Smith has run on beautifully. Took the handball from Marshall, fed Klug. Liptak was the hand passer to Klug. Now Footscray under pressure at half-back. McPherson may go across goal. No. He may still be forced to go long across goal. He kicks long back towards centre-half-back. Fortunate for Footscray. Winders there on his own.
Whoop.
Play on. Oh, you're gone. Where was the talking there? Brown recovers. McDermott was the tackler. The ball at the back now. Liptak can't get through. Going nowhere, and the umpire calls for a bounce.
You can't believe that a player like mine didn't see McDermott coming. Just on his right-hand side there, he thought he had all the time in the world. A great tackle. The player who's also responsible for getting the ball down there was the ability of Smith to run from the back line to create the play. Well done.
Seconds only now for the Crows to score a goal in this first quarter, but time has expired for them as David Marshall will pick up the football. It's quarter time here at Football Park. Footscray kicking with the breeze, leading by 4, 6-3 to 2-3. So here we go. The all-important second quarter. Negri gets the tap, but it doesn't gather a great deal of distance. Tregenza's kick is high, over the centre, but straight down the throat of Wallace. He comes wide towards Steve Kolyanook. Kolyanook kicked the goal in the first quarter. Down towards Justin Charles, beats him over the line, and so a throw in, but Footscray have it on their 50-metre line.
And with Hawkins a loose man in the Footscray defence there, it leaves Darren Smith a free man for the Crows.
Negri in front. No one gets a decisive tap. Liberatore read it well. His hand pass, however, goes astray. Maynard may leave it for Mark Bickley. Gets it across to Smith, wider towards Tregenza. Can he get there in time? Oh, he did very well, Tregenza. That is fine play. Now they've got a chance to run it through Sean Tasker. Long, up towards the forward line. A bit of pushing and shoving there. But the mark is paid. And Jamison is just 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Yes, and we see this again. It's probably his first touch of the footy for the game. Just a gentle nudge there, and just enough to get Stanfield out of the way. He judged that very well.
Rod Jamison.
Just about back this in, wouldn't you, on his form from last year? He's a brilliant kick for goal.
Kicked a couple of telling goals here.
My word.
Let's see what he does. I think he's drifted that across the face from behind.
Certainly gave it every chance, didn't he?
So the first score of the quarter for the Adelaide Crows. They move to 2-4. But this is going to be a testing quarter for them. As Campbell Kicks well back into the breeze. Or Negri got up high. And he's going to pump the Crows deep into attack once again. Mark Micken, of course, the club best and fairest, is missing today. So too Andrew Jarman and Nigel Smart. Negri in towards full forward. Touched off hands and through for one behind. Jamison unable to grab it in time to get a clean shot. So they move to 2-5. Trailing the Bulldogs 6-3.
The Footscray bench there have Ben Sexton and Shannon Corcoran.
Actually, even though they've got the breeze, you must kick accurately, and that's what Footscray did in the first term. 6-3 was a good result for their efforts. Now it's up to the Crows to make the most of their opportunities. Grant's hand pass, a little too fierce for Atkins. Now a chance for Liberatore working hard. Atkins and Grant combined, this time successfully. Kick towards half forward, and it finds Charles. He's got a player on his own, Coleman. Little kick's not bad. Coleman marks on the 50-metre line, and this will be an indication of what can happen from this side of the ground with the kicking. He goes in short. It's all right too. How did Grant get there on his own in front of Wiedemann? I'm sure Wiedemann is not picking up Grant. Short kick again. Hawkins, who we nominated was loose in defence, has run all the way down the ground and created a target for Chris Grant and has marked on much better angle and well within scoring distance.
Yeah, Wiedemann making a mistake there of assuming, which you can't do in the back line, the player was going to kick long.
Hawkins got to start it way right.
A stab at it, trying to steer it through, and misses to the left. So he's kicked 3-2, Doug Hawkins, in that scoreline of 6-4. 6-4 plays 2-5 as Tasker prepares to kick the ball back into play for the Adelaide side.
He goes long and low. Now that is almost to the centre. Wind, however, takes an uncontested mark. Goes on with it quickly to his vice-captain in Atkins. Back towards half forward. Hammered down in front. Maynard gets the hand pass away to Tasker. That is a long kick over the square up towards centre half forward. They want the running players now. Kick is again off target by David Brown, and another behind goes on the board. So wasted opportunities early in this second quarter for the Adelaide Crows. And Wiedemann paying the price. Roscoe?
Yes.
Lee back on.
Yes, you just cannot afford to just assume your player won't get the football on the back line. You must stay with him, irrespective.
Campbell kicks out well once again. Negri in from the side. Can't take the mark. Hart working hard, but Atkins is right on his hammer. McDermott comes over the top of Hawkins, rips him off the football. Play allowed to go on, but a steadying mark here taken by Baxter. And he will clear for the Dogs. From half-back in towards the centre of the ground, Coleman shows agility. Glenn Coleman up towards the half-forward line, over the head of Charles. Tasker reads it well, and he gets a nice bounce. Goes for a defensive handball to himself, and then can't control it as it goes over the line.
Big job for Charles at centre half forward, Ross, to make sure that Tasker doesn't run off him.
Correct, and he's done that a bit too, Tasker.
Throw in again. Charles, Negri, McGuinness. Straight round his body, but straight to Coleman once again on centre wing.
Handballs away to Hawkins, who's being very, very productive. Kick towards centre half forward. Backing himself was young Hart. Well done for a youngster. Off to Lee. Lee's kick to centre half forward. Foster bumped out of it by Ingerson. Good play by another youngster. The left foot shot by Ingerson is not too bad. No, it just goes away to the right. And it's through for a behind.
He did that well because Peter Foster is a very hard man to move off the foot. He holds his ground very well. Been a good duel so far.
Well, the Crows have kicked 4 points in the second term so far. McPherson drops the mark from the kick in. Able to recover. Left foot kick, accurate. Finds Grant just behind the wing.
Overcoming his injuries, and I'm sure Footscray fans will be keen to see him do well this year. He gets it to Stanfield up towards the half-forward line, but only as far as Smith. Back towards centre wing. Grant is there to contest once again. Tregenza sees it over the line on the outer wing. David Brown picks himself up.
Ross, when you're kicking with the wind, you can always fall guilty to bombing away.
Oh, my word.
Doing that, do you think?
I think they are. They're not all that direct.
Throw in once again. Line leaves. In fact, Atkins went to do the ruck work. Steve McPherson, a clever little tap over the top. Down towards Liberatore now. He gets boot to ball very, very quickly. To the 50-metre line he goes. in front of the scoreboard here at Football Park that shows Footscray 6-4, Adelaide 2-7. A warm, humid day here in Adelaide. Atkins again doing the work from behind as Negri locked arms. Chance for the Crows to mount something here though. Tregenza's kick goes up towards centre half forward. Clean bowls a couple. Hodges tries to get the hand pass away quickly. Oh, bang, down goes Matthew Liptak. Play goes on. Hodges high in towards full forward, but the Breeze just taking it wider. And it finishes out of bounds on the full.
So you thought that might have been a free kick, eh, Robbo?
Rowan Smith was too severe on the Adelaide player there, surely.
Well, we'll have a look at the replay. There you are, gentlemen. Play goes on as we speak. And the Dogs out of trouble. Bernard Toohey back towards the centre. Charles was in front, couldn't take the mark. Look at Liver.
Terrific Coleman Shepherd.
Yes, he's put someone down. Liberatore's kick goes in towards half forward. Grant can't take it. Kick high back towards the centre. And the mark taken in that position by Mark Bickley.
Bickley. Go on, Ross.
Sonny McGuinness is the player in trouble.
Yes, I tell you what, it was a very, very severe Shepherd. Chance here for Brown, who's tried to get through. No. Footscray in numbers will clear the ball. Toohey picked up the crumbs. Baxter's kick finds Coleman on centre wing. He won't be too popular for the rest of the day, as the boos will indicate already. Short kick. Grant misses it. They all miss it. Here's another Shepherd. Charles on Smith. Bit too hard. No. Baxter in towards full forward. No mark taken. Recovering. Valentine. Well tackled by Hart. Hart looks a good prospect. Going hard at the footy in that last line of defence. Maynard's handball. Whoa, does he put Bickley under a little bit of pressure? And down he goes, and the Adelaide crowd are wrapped. They've copped a free kick at last. And there's the 18-year-old in amongst it.
He's done well, hasn't he?
My word, he shows a lot of maturity for a young man. Bickley plays on quickly from that half-back line, kicks it across to the opposite side of the ground. Klug just gets rid of Toohey, but Toohey, a very, very determined player, is back into the action and beats Klug to the footy, and eventually will knock it over. Not much else you could do as Klug appeals to the umpire for a free kick, and we'll have a boundary throw in on centre wing, outer side. Still the Crows yet to kick a goal in the second term. Footscray kicking into the breeze, have added one behind.
Yes, worrying times for the Crows because they've kicked just 4 points going with the breeze. And almost 16.5 minutes remaining. Throw in again on the outer side. Hart and Atkins. Wind comes across to do battle with Negri. I think this crowd was expecting an onslaught from the hometown today, and it has not been so to date. McDermott working hard at the bottom to Liptak. Maynard gets it back to McDermott. They're in trouble on that outer side. Footscray continue to apply the pressure. Pushing it further forward was Nigel Kellett, eventually over the line.
I think Bernard Toohey had it spent there before it actually got it. Just chastising himself.
Veteran of 224 games. Bernard Toohey. Eventually he does get it out.
They've played a throw, which is what the crowd on that side are calling for, which the umpire picked up. Well done.
Still got it out.
Illegally.
Well, they've seen a couple of them today. So Klug in towards the 50-metre line. There's a strong mark. Jamison kicks towards Hodges, who backs himself and takes the mark.
Crucial kick this. He must get a goal here.
It's going to be a difficult kick too. The breeze is blowing across the face of that goal.
Yes.
So Scott Hodges, he's got to start it. Well, he's kicked it, but it only just snuck in. That's from the bounce. McPherson again. On the left foot, high. Maynard is there. He's at the bottom of the pack now. Still got it. Can't get it clear. Liberatore goes in to try and get it. Now Baxter, and it's Baxter who gets it out nicely towards Grant. Chris Grant is on the 50-metre line. He needs someone to support him. The hand pass is partly smothered by Tasker. Grant may get another opportunity. Gets it across nicely. And now the Dogs through Kolyanook in towards full forward. And there's one to Ballantyne, his first. And he's put it out of the park. Almost.
Good play there by Chris Grant too. Just follow the ball on and a very intelligent handball. Got the ball quickly through to Kolyanook, who had the good sense to steady, not blaze away. Here we see Grant just following up again, his handball smothered by Tasker. Good quick hands there by Charles. And a handball on the ground, clever. Kolyanook draws the player. Well done.
Yes, it certainly is important that you have ball carriers, and Chris Grant was terrific in that passage of play to get the goal. Wallace goes underneath to McPherson. He's caught. Still the ball there to be won. The Crows force it towards Lee. He can't really control it. Tregenza's hand pass over the top. Marshall on his own at half forward. Kicks it long into the pocket. Hodges is out positioned this time by Campbell. And Campbell plays on. He's going to be tackled. Hodges will get the goal. Scott Hodges kicks his second goal, and under what you would call controversial circumstances, Tony Campbell being called to play on, the Crows swooped on it, and Hodges summed it up pretty well.
Did you see this again? That's a crucial kick too. Makes all the difference there. He took a few steps forward. Player McGuinness took him, and he's all sorts of trouble, and Hodges did very well there under pressure.
Severe penalty to pay there for Tony Campbell, taking 1.5 steps forward. McGuinness coming from behind the man on the mark. Back in the centre. Chance for Lee. Forces his way through. Hawkins is going to get caught. No, he gets his kick away. Out towards the left half forward area. Smith is the first back there. And he runs away from Grant. He's got time to steady and have a look further afield. Delivers the ball pretty nicely. Tregenza couldn't mark, but he's back there to accept the hand pass from McGuinness. A little kick. Gives Marshall a chance, and he marks right half forward, about 40 metres from goal.
Very clever kick there by Tregenza. Gave Marshall time to run onto it, knowing the ball's going to sit up in the air. See this again, Marshall just running through very well.
David Marshall.
He's a marvel, really, Rob. I mean, you think he's played 300 games for Glenelg, and he's still playing now, having come back from that bad shoulder injury last year.
Yes, well, his reputation must be very good if the administration are prepared to persevere, and he kicked the goal. Marshall's first goal. Just a little bit of scent here for the Crows. 5-8. They trail Footscray 7-4.
Yes, and it's a crucial goal. Here we see Tregenza's kick. Did this very well. Just set it up in the air for Marshall, and he didn't let him down and followed through and finished off very well.
So the Crows coming back. 8 points the margin. Crowd starting to find some voice. Ricochets from Wine down towards Liberatore. He tries to get it out. Pushed towards the wing. An opportunity for Kellett. Does well. A little chip up towards the half-forward line, and Steve Kolyanook, who kicked a goal in the first quarter, has it. Ballantyne gives him a lead. It's ignored. Kolyanook, however, still goes short, and this time Nigel Kellett.
I can't understand why they take so long. He's 50 metres from goal, kicking straight into the breeze.
All he's allowing is the opposition Crows just to bottle it up there.
It's still waiting. Shannon Corcoran in the meantime has come on. Former Glenelg player. Oh, Charles. Fine mark.
Well, it was as good a mark as Hodges was in the first term, so we're all square on the ledger.
And the player coming off Corcoran is Rowan Smith. You see this again. Good strong marking between two players. Good grab.
Gee, there'll be some excitement from Justin Charles if he dobs this, Sandy.
This is only his first. So when he gets about 5, he goes. He becomes very enthusiastic. And it's an important kick. The Dogs into the breeze. They want a goal badly, and he's kicked it. Look at him. Under 6 minutes remaining. Crows wanting goals and wanting them badly. Wine thought about taking it out of the air and going on with it. Tregenza gets a short kick, some 10 or 15 metres, and is going to get a longer one now. He was infringed, and will take the kick from the right half forward flank. Simon Tregenza looking to go up towards a congested half forward area. Hodges tries to spread eagle the pack, lip tack on the boundary line and under pressure, and over the line once more.
Campbell was good then, ran straight at that player.
Yep, I think those gloves are helping him.
It didn't sound like sincerity on that occasion from you, Brownlow medalist. However, play goes on. McIntyre's having his first kick. It's going to be a goal! So Peter McIntyre, who just came off the bench, gets his first kick, and what a nice one.
Not a bad way to get your first kick. Does this very well. Jamison caught up, lip tacked the player to give it to him. McIntyre on his left, and watch his shepherd from Hodges. Did well.
And Ross, a good effort from a big man. He's obviously over 190 centimetres. So Adelaide 6-9, Footscray 8-4. We've got just under 5 minutes left in the second term. Bulldogs striving hard to protect their lead that they worked so hard to achieve in the first quarter. Wallace away to Hawkins. Hawkins has a look, then forced to kick high. Ball holding up in the breeze. Charles in front. Tasker a good punch. Footscray have got the numbers. Liberatore. In comes Corcoran. Oh, kick it quick, Steve. He did. McPherson, centre half forward. No one home. Smith's dropped another one. What's happened to Darren Smith? Hart there to help him out, and he does it pretty well. Up towards Hawkins and lip tack. Hawkins crunched to the ground. That could be a free kick.
Yes.
A little too severe there by Peter McIntyre.
Too high.
Hawkins, short passes on. It's effective. He finds Coleman. Coleman is between the centre and wing. So still maybe 3.5 kicks from goal. Drop punt kick to centre half forward. Charles, the ball comes through to the back. Opportunity for Grant. He's a good player, Chris Grant. He goes after it again. Maynard, Charles. Now the ball comes clear to McDermott from Tasker. McDermott's kicked back in towards the centre. No mark taken back there. Oh, Coleman's recovered pretty well from the marking contest. Wallace underneath. Baxter. Back to Coleman, and Coleman kicks Footscray towards centre half forward.
A long, low kick, but the Dogs haven't got the numbers there at the moment. Bickley.
Oh, no. Unnecessary there from Negri. He got Collingwood as he's coming out to chase Bickley, and he shepherded rather crudely. And Collingwood will receive the free kick.
Gee, they're away, Adelaide, too, weren't they?
Penalised your side badly there, Robbo, and there's a chance here for Footscray to score a goal.
Yes, they have the numbers. So Steve Collingwood kicking into the wind, in fact he's just going to go short. Comes off the knee of Ballantyne and over the line. Throw in the Dogs' right forward pocket area. Just over 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter. The margin is 7 points favouring Footscray. Atkins can't get a clear kick at it. McGuinness does it beautifully. Bickley again. Gets out of trouble nicely.
Advantage of pace there, Sandy.
Across to Lee. His kick is long and direct. Over the centre he goes. Wind. The big man does well. Gets it out. Ooh. He'll be knocked there.
Goodness me, you know, you are allowed to use your head and shoulder. It's part of the game, is it not?
Yeah, he goes on there. It's Foster. He gets it out to Toohey. Bernard Toohey has a bounce. Kicks well up towards McPherson. A fine kick. And Steve McPherson still just outside 50, but valuable seconds are ticking away for Footscray.
Too slow. He had two players just making position further afield.
Short to Hawkins. He's just picked it up. He's still outside the 50. The only man back in the square really was Negri before. Now they've dropped back. He's going to go short again. Smith got a hand to it but couldn't complete the mark. Atkins comes in and off the ground he goes into the pocket. Negri's got the hole.
A few ironicals there, do you think?
Just a couple.
Well, what about his kick to Hart? Oh, he's under pressure. Corcoran comes in. Can't get away with it. Now Chris Grant to Atkins. Quickly kicks in towards full forward, and this time the mark is taken by Charles.
Wasn't Grant good, Ross?
Oh, clever. Look, he's been very good. Just his competitiveness, apart from his skill factor. That was a fairly fortuitous kick, I think, there from Simon Atkins. Just got the ball to boot very quickly, with the advantage of playing in front, and Charles will have a shot at goal.
This
looking for his second.
And this just to give the Dogs a bit of breathing space going into the long break. It's 7 points the margin at the moment, and he's now made it 13 points. Listen to that crowd.
There was a goal scored, would you? It is incredible.
I think there'd be a roar in Melbourne. Yes.
So at half-time, the Crows trailing by 14 points. They outscored the Bulldogs by 4 goals to 3 in the second term, and interestingly have had more scoring shots, but inaccuracy has cost them dearly. Can the Crows arrest the lead and kick off 92 with a win? Join me again at 6:25 for the answers in the second half. I hope you'll stay with us. Now stand by for 7 Nightly News with John Riddell and Narelle Hill.
The 90 in front. Charged straight at it like an Olympic sprinter.
Kernahan. Peter Dangos. Magic by Dangos.
Richie Harding must be quick because he's taken Lambert on and beaten him.
Oh, they'll bring the joint down now.
The centre wing. Oh, no! We've waited all night for you.
Jarman, great skills. Magnificent grab. Allison. The Tigers are on fire. He's got the football. Look at this. Crash, bang.
Oh, what a mark. Dale Lewis.
Matera. This could be something superb.
This has been another 7 Sport production, the network of the 1992 Barcelona Olympics.
Good evening. The Adelaide Crows kicked off their second season in the AFL against Footscray at Football Park this afternoon. If you've been watching the replay and you don't want to spoil the second half, here's your chance to look away as we flash up the final scores. Very interesting that the Bulldogs, who started well with the breeze, led by 14 points at half-time.
Scott Lee and Doug Hawkins made their polite introductions before the ball had even been bounced. Over the next quarter, Lee would see a whole lot more of Dougie, his famous number 7, and respected skills. With the breeze at his back, Hawkins kicked 3 of the Dogs' 6 goals in that opening term. Lee was dragged to the sidelines for a better view. Footscray's other favourite son, Tony Liberatore, was also causing the Crows a few headaches. Make that a migraine. It took Adelaide until midway through the quarter to kick a goal. Klug set it up. McGuinness snaffled it. Hodges needed a hand up forward. Actually, he almost lost one here. At the first change, the Dogs by 4 goals. Ben Hart, in his first AFL game, was doing his best to make sure they wouldn't get too many more in the second, but not enough of his mates were helping out. Hodges did his bit, 2 goals for the quarter. Adelaide didn't use the breeze as it should. Footscray started to use Charles as it could. At the main break, the visitors 14 points clear. The third is traditionally Adelaide's big quarter. Well, it's been a long summer. Maybe they'd forgotten the script. Footscray's defence was near on impenetrable. Fourth term, and Doug Hawkins was still having his own private party.
He doesn't mind a party, Doug, either.
But former teammate Tony McGuinness and the Crows won't be getting any kind invitations. Dixie Marshall, 7 Nightly News.
First half at Football Park was a tough, desperate affair. The Bulldogs led at the long break by just 14 points, but neither side was able to dictate play, setting up what should be an intriguing second half. Let's now take you back to Football Park.
Dogs hold the Crows in this vital third quarter. It's Romano Negri who got the first touch of the quarter. At the bottom, as usual, is Liberatore across to Cork, and he does well as he finds Wallace. Now they're kicking with the breeze in this quarter. They can open up a big lead if they're good enough. Hawkins couldn't quite hold the mark, but he does have plenty of support. This is Ballantyne. Short little chips intercepted. Negri. Big man is claimed, however, by Grant. Some solid work going in across that half-forward line. The umpire letting it go. McGuinness at the bottom, who did receive that heavy knock, but is back out on the ground. And so a bounce on half-forward. A very important quarter 2 for the Crows, because they've got to hold Footscray. They could see 4 points disappear very quickly if the Dogs can build up a big lead. Negri in front. Atkins couldn't take it. Sock it off the ground. Back towards the half-back line. Wallace chasing. May beat him over the line. It's very, very close. Corcoran is there as well. McDermott on his hammer. Eventually spooned out the back door towards McGuinness. Liberatore just gives him a gentle little nudge and say that's out of bounds.
Liberatore's done a pretty good job on McGuinness. He's run with him well. Of course, that knock that McGuinness got from Coleman in the second quarter certainly took the wind out of him.
Klug and Hart on the boundary line for the Crows. Charles couldn't take it. Wiedemann having a run in this third quarter once again. Goes down to the forward line. Oh, an opportunity for Kolyanook. He slipped, but he still managed to get it to Atkins, who shoots in towards goal and pops through a very important one for the Dogs. So first goal in the third quarter to Footscray, going with the breeze. Simon Atkins gets his first, and they stretch that lead to 20 points.
Yes, Chris Grant just bring that ball back here, and you see Kolyanook just getting knocked over there by Ballantyne, I think it was, and Atkins, the player we saw with great stats, and he ran very well through the centre to finish off. Good start from Footscray in this quarter.
He's a good player, Simon Atkins. I think there's a lot of people believe that he's too slow, but the ability to read the play is excellent.
He gets the footy.
My word. And that was a great goal for Footscray at the start of the third quarter. Tui marks the kick from the centre of the ground. He's at centre half back. And I don't think Footscray had want to rest on their laurels. The game is still there to be won. Tui's kick wide to half forward, a little bit too far. Grant's able to get there and then knock it onto his own advantage. Hard up against the boundary line. For a man 192 centimetres tall, he's a very good player and certainly a vital part of Footscray's future over the next 6 or 7 years. Free kick has been picked out of that ruck contest. It's going to Charles. He spotted someone further afield. Ballantyne, the pass a little too severe for him. Tregenza there to tidy up. Kicks it into a vacant space on centre wing. It'll be too short for McIntyre, who falls. In comes Stanfield. Crunch. Gets the handball away. And maybe in the circumstances, not a bad move. We'll have a boundary throw in just forward of centre wing in Footscray's forward half.
20 points is the margin, favouring the Dogs. Negria and Wine lock arms. Atkins got a touch. Could have almost interfered with McDermott. Liberatore again gets at the bottom of the pack and furrows it out to Kolyanook, who went very, very short to Coleman. Made it difficult for him, but he's got support. Charles shows agility. Good-looking kick too, as the mark is taken by Corcoran directly in front. And Doug Hawkins saying now, hold it down and have a shot.
Well done by Charles there to square the footy. He could have gone out on his left side, and I think he had a player running up into the pocket. Squared it off well.
This to make the margin 26 points. Kick looks pretty good and just shaves the post. Just shaves the post. So behind to Shane Corcoran.
I just wonder, I watched Darren Smith run after Coleman there as Corcoran had marked, and he just jog-trotted towards him. I wonder whether their attitude's quite spot on, the Crows. They'll have to lift if they're going to snatch this game.
Shannon Corcoran, one behind. 6'9", plays 10-6. Well, the crowd's certainly shell-shocked. Eventually Lee goes to the outer side. It's effective. Taken by Beckley. Long wants Maynard. Got a hand to it. He's going to get a free kick anyway. McPherson infringing. To the half-forward line. That breeze just as strong as it was at the start of the game. And the ball holding up. Hawkins, a free kick.
Yeah, there's some ticky touchwoods coming into it. Gee, how did they get on their own? Two of them.
Well, there's two of them there. Yes, the Crows, they don't look as sharp as they have in the past. Now, this is Ballantyne, who kicked a goal in the second quarter right on the boundary line. And he's going to be kicking from almost 50 metres. Let's see what he can do. He's a right footer.
It's a good
lovely looking kick into goal. I think that's a goal. John Ballantyne gets his second. That is a beauty.
Lee to kick it in. Decides to go straight up the ground. chance here. No, he's got to sit and wait, Tasker, but he does it pretty well and marks nicely. Away to Liptak. Liptak hooks his kick into the defensive pocket as far as the Crows are concerned. Streaming down the ground with Stanfield. The hand pass wasn't bad. It's got the ball to Coleman. A shepherd on Maynard gives Baxter the chance to run beautifully through half forward. Kicks it in towards full forward. Making position and nearly taking the mark was Grant. It's been paid.
They've got to pay that.
Fair, was it, Ross?
Yes, very fair.
Well, Chris Grant, he certainly is a focal point for the Bulldogs on that full forward and centre half forward line.
To see this again, didn't quite catch it all, but as it was, I would have paid that.
Adelaide supporters obviously think he's a little fortunate.
Oh, they would.
And they've had a lot of good fortune from that pocket, Footscray, with their goal kicking. And they've got another one from that right pocket. Chris Grant gets his first goal, and the Footscray side get a very important 12th goal because they now lead 12-7 to 6-11. The difference is 32 points.
Well, the height, in fact, that I thought would be the disadvantage to Footscray, in fact, has worked out very well. Grant, Coleman, Charles, those players have done it very well, and Grant holding down centre half forward along with Coleman have been good focal points.
(12-7) plays 6-11. Footscray looking the goods at the moment. Negri goes over the back. That was a clever tap to Liptak, however. Loses it. The Dogs down towards half forward, and a strong mark taken again by Hawkins.
Sandy, what about Foster's smother?
I was going to say exactly right. It was perfect smother.
Sorry, Ross, I chipped in there, but gee, it was great stuff by Foster.
And now he's got his captain having a shot at goal.
He's kicked 3.
Yes.
All in that first quarter. The Norman Lubbock choir. Here's Hawkins. Another long kick, but he's gone for the distance, and he's gone wide to the left and just sneaking it in from behind. But they all count at this stage.
Another goal against no goals for Adelaide in the rest of the quarter, and oh gee, they're going to have a job.
Well, they've got a job at the moment.
My word. Actually, Footscray would be stiff because they've controlled the game from the start, haven't they?
Jamison goes up towards centre wing. Bickley. Played by Baxter. As he charges through and he kicks to Ballantyne, who marks. Well, now let's see what he can do here. He's going from 50 short. It's effective to Coleman, who did think about running on, but only for a split second.
So what happened there, all the Crows runners from the half-back line, Maynard and Smith, had run down, trying to make play, and left their Footscray forwards standing still.
Which is better, Ross? Glenn Coleman running on from the mark or going back to the set shot?
I think going back to the set shot.
Let's see what he can do. He's swung it to the right, or has he just snuck it home? No, one behind. A couple of his teammates tried to con the umpire there, but it didn't work. Well, you got to try anything. 12-9 plays 6-11, but it's 81 to 47.
And gee, that's a sign that you're not going too well when the fullback doesn't know where to kick it into. This time he decides to go to that defensive side. Negri has made good position and takes a good mark. His hand pass again puts McDermott under pressure. They're still in trouble. Footscray have got a chance at centre half forward. Corcoran, good pressure. Liberatore in there. No, holding the man against Shannon Corcoran maybe. And a free kick will go to Maynard. He handballs away to Marshall. Marshall's left foot kick is pretty good. No, it's not. Stanfield chips in and marks right on the wing.
Yes, McDermott had to wait for the footy to come to him.
Gee, they've got all the answers, the Bulldogs, so far. Stanfield's kick to centre half forward. Punched away by Tasker. Atkins, great handball. Brilliant vision. Charles, away to Grant into an open goal, and Chris Grant has hit the post. I'll tell you what, they're playing brilliant football, Footscray. And they lead by 35 points. 12-10 to 6-11.
That quick interception there by Stanfield did very well and had a shot at goal.
Crows have kicked only 2 behinds for the quarter. Negri is coming off. Klug is about to come back onto the ground. The ball is with David Brown. They want a couple of quick goals in the last 6 minutes of this quarter. Atkins again. He shovels it out. Or Corcoran spins nicely out of trouble. Back to Atkins again, who pumps it high up towards the half-forward line. Over the back it goes. No one at home. Smith should be able to clear. He stops with a hand pass that puts Marshall under pressure, and this could result in a goal because Coleman on the run is dangerous. Wants Hawkins. It goes over the back, and it's a free kick this time against Hawkins.
Yes, Scott Lee was interfered with by Hawkins, just dragged down.
Well, the umpire's called play on sensibly, so one would suggest that the players get on with the job, don't worry about the brawling. McDermott has it in the middle. Tui making sure he's going nowhere fast. Got Maynard wide. Could get it at the back. Just a little too far underneath it. Working hard lip tap. And there's going to be free kick. Hodges in the pack. Couldn't take it. Shannon Corcoran just waits down and glides away. Goes to centre wing. Coleman up against Marshall. Well, a clever tap back by Glenn Coleman. Off to Corcoran, and he stabs it beautifully. They're playing very good football at the moment. And this is Justin Charles. That kick is not so good, but it may give Atkins the opportunity. He's on his own. He'll have to kick with the left foot. And he does it beautifully.
Clever.
He does it beautifully. There's another one of the Dogs.
And with that 13th goal, the by Atkins for Footscray, his second for the quarter, a very crucial kick that. He's been such a very good player today, Atkins. And here just doing well with Lee and Hawkins clashing before the footy on his left foot there. Very deliberate shot at goal.
I used to think it was quiet when South Australia or West Australia scored a goal in State of Origin football, but this gives new meaning to silence over here, Robbo.
It's incredible stuff, Sandy. South Australia, they're certainly a partisan crowd, but
this is where they're breaking down, Robbo, across half forward. They've not had anyone really. Ingerson's tried hard, but he's had no support.
Oh, they've been fantastic, Footscray, all over the ground, but you've spotted that. Their half-back line has been a rock of Gibraltar. Now this kick goes towards the full forward area. Ballantyne just striving very, very hard. It's very important that every player gives, even when the opposition have got the ball, they've got to concentrate on where their opponent is.
That's right, and when they're breaking down there, they're running players like McGuinness and Brown just haven't been able to break free. They've been well held, so they've got no one to run past to pick up crumb gathering.
And they'll be struggling now with Negri off the ground. He's done a couple of ordinary things, but gee whiz, they're picking those Footscray jumpers out quite nicely with their kicks.
Coleman's having a field day.
Oh, my word. Bernie Quinlan giving votes for the Channel 7 award wouldn't have too much difficulty at this stage. Grant beaten for the ball. Tasker runs away and hand passes to Tregenza. Tregenza's kick is good. Gives the chance now for Maynard. The bounce is favourable for him. Smith could have nearly run on and created the hand pass target, which he does in the finish. Back to Maynard. Now, what can they do with this? Away to Klug. Klug from outside 50. Short kick. Ingerson wasn't really awake up to it. Runs onto the footy, but Footscray with strength will get clear. A long kick by McPherson goes back towards half forward where Grant is marked, and Footscray they just seem to have about 23 players on the ground, and that's usually the sign that you're dominating the game, and that's exactly what's happening. Wallace, short kick, and Ballantyne doesn't quite mark. Ben Hart putting good pressure on, and McGuinness comes in to give him a hand and knock the ball over for boundary throw-in.
And Kluge's kick there, perhaps an indication of the finesse that they may have played with last year. But in fact, the short kick was okay if he had gone down the ground, because he had two players running onto the footy. But going across the ground like that's just not on.
Boundary throw-in. Liberatore working overtime, and the umpire calling for a bounce. Just giving the boys a few instructions to maybe settle down. It's a very warm day, and tempers shortened a little bit. Charles can't get at the ruck contest. Brown can. Can he run away? Charles, good work. Put some pressure on and kicked it back into the centre where Stanfield marks. Plays on quickly. Short pass is effective. Baxter is marked, and that could nearly be. No, it's not. I thought maybe...
Yeah, well, Scott Lee, I think, was thinking that Baxter was going to play on, because he had a play in front going to run past. And Kellett.
50 metres would have made a certainty of it. Ballantyne and young Hart having a dust-up back near the goal square. And the umpire not really interested in having a look at it. But Baxter will shoot. He'll probably get the distance from here. Oh, he does it easily. Easily. Hooks the kick, and it's through for one behind. But still, the ball is down in Footscray's scoring zone. They lead 13-11 to 6-11, so they've got a 7-goal buffer. We've got just over a minute left in the third term.
And when Adelaide did have the breeze, they kicked 4 goals. So they're trailing by 7 at the moment. They desperately want a couple to close the gap before the final term. Bickley goes long and low up towards the half-forward line. It clean bowls Hodges. At the back, tidying up is Campbell. Oh, but good persistence by Anthony Ingerson. Puts him under pressure. Now Foster is feeling that pressure. Close to the boundary line. They've got the numbers now. He's lost conned into that by the crowd.
If the tackle causes the ball to fall free, it's play on.
Just the roar of the crowd then.
The ball falls free, play on.
And that was when the whistle, the ball had been touched by 2 or 3 players, and then the whistle sounded. The kick, a centering kick. Wiedemann loses it. Atkins works hard. Oh, he goes for a little soccer off the ground to go straight to Tregenza, who pulls it back in towards full forward, over the head of Hodges, over the head of Wallace. Kept in, however, to Hodges. He's got to defeat 3 Footscray players. Can't do it. Campbell has it and goes straight to Coleman. Glenn Coleman has picked up a ton of kicks this quarter. There's the siren to end another very good quarter by Footscray. Stunned silence here at Football Park. Footscray 13-11, 89, leading Adelaide 6-11, 47. Here we go into the final quarter. The big question is, can the home side come back? Negri is back on the ground. McDermott looks for the first kick of the final quarter. He doesn't get it. Atkins is at the bottom as well, and another bounce. Well, they've got to kick a minimum of 7 goals in this quarter, and they have kicked only 6 in the first 3, so it's a big ask.
Yes, I think that's a very important statistic too, Sandy, that they just haven't been able to kick enough goals.
Atkins, somehow he gets that handball out of the middle towards Shannon Corcoran, who's done pretty well. Off he goes to Kolyanook, who goes down towards full forward, in fact goes over the top of both Ballantyne and Hart. Across the ground, Tasker. Sockers again towards Tregenza. Can't take it cleanly. McPherson comes in to meet him. Goes round his body with a short kick that was touched. It's going to still be kept in play. No, Nigel Kellett eventually over the line in the left forward pocket. Well, I would imagine Graham Corns, who was looking for an undefeated run here at Football Park this season, will be bitterly disappointed with this performance if they fail to come back.
Yeah, it's always important to get away to a good start in a season. They played 3 of their first 5 at home too, Sandy, so it's important they do win here.
Wiedemann pumps it long, but no one at home again, and Wine takes an easy mark. Peter Foster, celebrating his 150th, will be happy just to get a win. Atkins' hand pass is smothered, but lucks of fortune, it goes straight to Wine. Back to half forward once again. Grant has had a sensational day. Gets the ball out, but into a lot of Crows players. McDermott runs into one, but still gets his kick. But therein lies the story of the day.
How many times have they kicked their Footscray players who are on their own? This guy's played a terrific game. Wind in the ruck has been fantastic. He's just made a few gaps for the smaller players. He's been good at centre bounces, and he's created a lot of chances for all players over the ground. Wallace up towards half forward. No mark. Through comes young Hart. Just controls the footy, then gets his foot to it and kicks it long. Back towards half-back, but Hawkins, gee whiz, if you can read the play, Ross, you can be a very good player loose in defence, can't you?
Oh, my word.
Kick goes wide where McPherson marks, hand passes to Kellett. Kellett up to full forward, or Hart, a big leap. That could have nearly been a free kick, no. Maynard, short pass, Tregenza, short again, no mark to Lee. Now he runs away and kicks it long towards half forward. Running onto it is Liptak, and he marks outside 50 metres. He's about 60 metres from goal. The fans screaming for a quick goal in the last term for the Crows. Up towards full forward. Hodges punches from behind and at least gets a score for the Crows, which is a rush behind. Footscray bench there. Young Sexton and Smith. Sexton, who has played no part in the game as yet. So Footscray have done well with their 18, or their original 18 on the field. The kick in, good mark taken by Klug. Maybe a little too far out to score, but they certainly need a goal to give them some sort of impetus. He's kicking it long to the front of the goal square. Wind, can't mark. Crumbs gathered by Hawkins. Slips the tackle from Hodges. Wind, a quick kick close to the boundary line. Ingerson gets past Tui and kicks in short. Hawkins, his third mark in the last 90 seconds.
He had a field day today, Dougie. Started off on the right foot, booting 3 goals. Now come out for his 17th kick. And a good one too. The defensive outer side. But a good mark to Ingerson. Very good mark to Anthony Ingerson. Pumps the Crows back in towards Hodges' territory once again. He can't take the mark. They want goals and they want them desperately to have any hope. Footscray defence. He stood up pretty well. McPherson held it too long, however, on this occasion and lost it.
Yes, had the opportunity to get rid of the footy on the first occasion. Chose to try and elude the man coming at him and got pinged.
Just a little risky, Ross, but you've got to give him credit for trying to make the play.
McPherson?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, he tried to get away and create for a player downfield, so he pays the penalty there.
Hart directly in front. 25 metres out, puts it straight through the middle. Darryl Hart gets his first, and a much-needed one for the Crows. They move to 7-12, trailing the Dogs 13-11.
Yes, well, he sat on the bench for a term in that third quarter, and he's come under the ground. And we see here, again, McPherson got in there, tried to create the play, as Robbo said, trying to get away and clear the ball out of defence, but got pinged.
He's a goal scorer, at least, Darryl Hart, so I suppose the advantage to have him on the ground. Now the crowd starting to chant, trying to give their team some support. Tasker, handball, Tregenza, loves to run with the footy, one bounce, will set it up. Lovely long kick into the forward line. No, good mark to Stanfield. Has to be paid, man in front. Come on, Adelaide fans. Beat Van Ingham. A great mark to the defender. Wallace in the back pocket. Runs away and kicks it towards centre wing. It will bounce just inside and eventually goes over. And maybe that was to Footscray's advantage. Marshall just about to pounce on it.
And that kick, Robbo, from Tregenza into that forward line, didn't kick far enough left to give his forward a chance. He sat it up in the middle of the ground and it moved to the left-hand side.
Liberatore working overtime at the bottom of the pack. So is Atkins. Handball back. McPherson. The kick is smothered. Nowhere for Liptak to go. McDermott over the top. Gives Klug the chance. Klug, a flying shot at goal. Goes high. Into the pocket. Punched away from Hodges by Campbell. And Campbell has done a pretty good job back there for Footscray.
Yeah, good smother too by Mark Bickley.
Campbell with the Peter Norman gloves on. And in the right forward pocket for Adelaide. They desperately need a score. There's been a shepherding incident against Scott Wine in the ruck contest, so he will take the free kick in the back pocket. Doesn't mind if he takes precious seconds to kick this ball out, and he does, about 45 metres out towards half-back. No mark taken. Picked off by Kellett. Kellett's quick kick goes back to a vacant wing. Getting back as Maynard. Bounce a little awkward for him. Handball awkward for Smith. Smith back over the top. Tregenza can run. Oh, down he goes. That's a free kick, surely.
Yep.
And Tregenza will kick Adelaide to within scoring distance. He gets around and kicks it high and long. In towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Footscray there. No, Darryl Hart picks it off beautifully. Maynard. Lovely little handball to Bickley. And Bickley kicks the goal. First goal to Mark Bickley. And now there's a bit of sound around the football park in Adelaide. The Crows supporters have come to life, Ross.
Yes, they certainly have. And that's the sort of run they haven't had. Mark Bickley's provided that here. Hart again featuring the play. And the voice from Bickley was heard by Maynard, and a very sharp handball to give his teammate a ping at goal.
Crows fans Really giving their side support now. 2 goals, but they want a lot more yet. Wiedemann pumps them into attack once again, down towards the half-forward line. Hart couldn't take the bouncing ball at the first attempt, and he's claimed the second. Ball held, will have a bounce. And just on 18 minutes remaining. Well, time if they're good enough.
Yes, I think they just have to hold Footscray. I mean, if Footscray kick a goal, it'll just break them down a bit, maybe.
Just in the Crows' attacking zone. Just getting a kick. Tui goes to ground and he'll get a free kick. The advantage is going to be paid. Livers away. It's a lovely kick too. Ballantyne marks. This will test his distance.
This could be it, Robbo. This is the one if they get.
Yeah.
Could break the back a bit.
Well, it sometimes happens, Ross, doesn't it?
Oh,
you know,
my word.
when you get a flow on,
yep.
The opposition can just get through like that. It was probably a little questionable about whether Liberatore could play on.
Yeah, I think it should have come back, actually.
Ballantyne has kicked 2 goals. 1 in the second, 1 in the third. He's kicking into the breeze from 50 metres. It won't make the distance. Look at it hold up now. Charles, Coleman. And he takes a big mark.
Isn't there a deathly silence too?
Absolute silence.
It was a fine mark in that pack. It really was. Everyone else having a run at it, and Coleman just stood his ground very well.
He's had a very good day, Glenn Coleman.
He's been a good recruit for Footscray, hasn't he?
My word. Here he goes. Let's see what he could do, because it could be the death knell. It is a goal.
Bounce back in the centre. It favours the Crows, but they can't break clear. Now they can, through Wiedemann. He kicks it quickly towards half-forward. No mark, but very well done by Steve Wallace, knocking it down in front.
No, free kick.
Down to Hart. Holding on. Surely it wasn't against Wallace, was it?
I was watching McDermott's in a bit of trouble down the back of the ground here. I just saw the umpire hold his jumper to indicate it was holding on infringement. McDermott just copped one on in the groin, I think.
I thought Wallace did pretty well to knock it down in front because his teammate was there, but Hart has the free kick. 50 metres from goal. Not a bad kick, but it doesn't come back. Oh, nearly a mark there to Ingerson. And he's had an ordinary day, Anthony Ingerson. He's learnt what it's all about, because Peter Foster hasn't really given him much room at all.
No, he's presented himself okay, but he's tended to play a bit from behind. He hasn't learnt to get in front. But he's mobile enough, and it'll certainly stand him in good stead, Robbo. No question about that.
Well, you really have to have the experience, and I'm sure time will improve him. Negri can't mark. Wine. Scott Lee under a little bit of pressure. Can't quite hook the kick far enough, and it goes out of bounds on the full in that right forward pocket for the Crows. The free kick to be taken back there by Hawkins, who's enjoyed his day here in Adelaide, I'm sure.
Well, he's played at one end of the ground basically the whole game,
and been quite magnificent for Footscray as captain. Set them alight in the first term, kicking 3 goals, and has picked up something like 20 possessions plus in the game so far this afternoon. There's another man who's worked overtime, Atkins. He's still got it. Now Bickley, handball wide. Lee on the wing, kicks it towards the 50-metre line.
Yes,
but back there, have a look. Uncle Dougie, he's at a party. Hawkins, short kick, finds Baxter.
He doesn't mind a party, Doug, either.
Baxter too, particularly in the first half, did extremely well, picking up kicks at will. Goes back towards centre wing. It's going to be a dog day afternoon here at Football Park this afternoon, particularly for the Crows, because the Bulldogs are going to start off with 4 premiership points. It's just what they wanted. Foster defends from behind, pushing down to Wine, gets the hand pass off to McPherson, kicks blindly but wide, and gains probably 55 metres. A clever kick actually, and Glenn Coleman sees it over the line.
He's been a good contributor too, McPherson.
It's going to be hard to give votes, I think, because they've had quite a few good players all over the ground, haven't they?
Share it quite easily.
Yes, that a free kick was picked up there and not out of bounds, and it's going to go the way of Atkins. A little mystifying there. Nevertheless, Atkins has it. He kicks to half forward, but only as far as Wiedemann. Drifted across the back of the pack. McDermott appears to be okay after that knock. From a standing start, pumps it high and long. Oh, and a clever mark, good mark taken by Foster, who appeared to hurt his back in that encounter, but he's okay. They've got possession, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, they shared the ball beautifully.
Keller over the boundary line. And Steve Kolyaniuk, he kicked the goal in the first quarter. Sees it over.
It's been their preparedness to run far more than the Crows have that's made them players present themselves and given their players downfield a target to kick to.
And I'll tell you what, a sight you very rarely see here.
People leaving?
People leaving with still 13 and a half minutes to go. No mark taken. The Bulldogs have shown far more desperation today. There's a sweeping hand pass comes from Jamison. Here's a chance for Hart, but there's the classic example of the determination. It comes back with Hodges. He's flat as he gets his kick and tucks through for one behind.
Ross, you mentioned, I think, in the second term about close-in tactics about Footscray. They've been very, very good, haven't they?
They're just hustling and bustling because they've been prepared, Robert, to man up. And in doing so, they've always had one or two players at a contest to assist their teammate, which gives them an option. They've been very good at that. Very strong in the body. They kept their feet very well. They've just been prepared to have a go.
Clever play by Grant on that occasion to sneak it out the back door to McPherson, onto Atkins. Dogs are playing like millionaires at the moment. Kolyaniuk couldn't take it. It comes off the boot, down and towards goal, and Wiedemann sees it over the line.
If the Atkins kick had been a proper drop punt, I'm sure Kolyaniuk would have run right onto that, wouldn't he?
My word.
14-12, plays 8-14. Graham Corns, a shake of the head. Says, well, boys, back to the drawing board. That's what it's going to be. McDermott, he gets claimed by Little Libber. It's like a terrier.
I'd love to see what he can bench press for the man his size. I reckon he'd be
pound for pound, he's probably the strongest in the league.
I'd agree with that.
Negri and Wine. Wine recovers well. Down towards Charles. Doesn't get a good bounce. Smith just tries some soccer tactics short to Wiedemann. Cannot pick up the football, and Liberatore again at the bottom of the pack.
That's something in respect to Barry Cable, for instance, who is so very strong in the upper body. For a player of his size, he's one of the best tacklers ever to play the game, because he's just prepared to put in with weights to get them not for size but just for sheer strength.
And so you have to take your hat off to guys like that work so hard on the other parts of their game. Footscray go into attack once again, but young Hart knocked it away. Nearly running onto it was Kolyaniuk. Wiedemann slung off the ball.
He will this time.
Now Kolyaniuk, left foot shot, pops it around and kicks another goal for Footscray. Kolyaniuk gets his second goal, and Footscray go marching on, and there are more fans leaving now, because that certainly will be the end for Adelaide. Footscray now 15-12, leading Adelaide 8-14.
And just a bit harsh here. Watch Wiedemann. He picks up the footy. He had two handball options here. Out the back to a couple of teammates, elected to try and kick, got tackled and got very heavily penalised.
Well, Crow fans are leaving in their droves after that last goal.
You could have sworn the siren's gone.
You would think so. They've gone into attack on this occasion, but it's Bernard Toohey who repels it once again, gives it across to Hawkins, who's had a day he'll remember for a long time to come. He's been fantastic, the Hawk. To the half-forward line. Grant also has been a very solid performer. Smith can't pick up the football. Liberatore at the bottom of the pack. He gets crunched, but he still goes. Fantastic. Eventually it's Bickley who comes away, but he does well. To the half-forward line he goes. No mark taken. Foster takes the hand pass from Toohey. McPherson sees it bounce towards the boundary line on the half-back line. The only one there to assist is Hawkins, but it's a tired Klug that chases. To centre wing, Atkins sets himself and takes the mark just inside the line.
Tell you what, if there were 35,000 people here, there'll only be 15 by the time the siren sounds.
Actually, you look through this Footscray team, they've all played well today. It's been a great team performance.
My word, I agree, yes, Sandy.
Charles, the meat in the sandwich on that occasion. Kellett picks it up. It's a hurried left foot kick. Gains 25 metres, which is good football.
Yes, it's been their persistence, hasn't it? Just preparedness to accept that, by working and working, gaining metres and metres, that someone's going to be there at the finish. It's been a terrific team performance.
I'll tell you what, they've got St Kilda next week. That's going to be a very big and interesting game.
Negri coming off, Sandy too, McIntyre on, and Sexton player ready to come on for Footscray.
McGuinness hasn't been the same player since that heavy knock. Jamison, centering kick to half forward. Wine in front. Hammered away, however, by Hodges, but Footscray defence just tidy up. McPherson, Hawkins, Baxter. They've been solid as a rock. Could have been a little nudge there from Charles. The play goes on. Wiedemann spread eagles himself backwards. Or perhaps he was tugged on the Guernsey. Wayne Wiedemann goes across the centre. Up towards half forward. Wine drifts across the front, but it's McIntyre who read it well, and he takes the mark.
Well, McIntyre could easily score from here. We've gone past the 9-minute mark left in the match. 15-12 plays 8-14. I don't think there'll be any doubt about the result. The attendance 40,381 as McIntyre's shot misses to the left, so it's another behind to Adelaide. 8-15 plays 15-12. Tony Campbell, who has done a pretty good job back there at fullback for Footscray. Wallace marks the kick in. That short kick is all right too. It finds Toohey. Handball over the top. Kellett, promising young player. Nigel Kellett has been around Footscray for 2 or 3 years now, and the Bulldogs will be looking for him to play regular games across that centre line. Wiedemann's kick in towards full forward. Wallace went hard at it. Foster there. Taken away from him by Liptak. Little kick off the ground. Inside 50. Hawkins, a little tap over, and does it pretty well. Campbell, the handball smothered. McIntyre going nowhere. Still a chance for the Adelaide side. McGuinness has ridden into the ground, and he'll take the free kick, and the Footscray players are just absolutely ropeable.
Definite free kick. In fact, he almost got legged before he had the footy in the first place. Just see this. There's the leg. Liberatoria has him, and definitely the back from McPherson, and then Campbell over the top again.
He's got to make sure he was going nowhere.
He was right on the bottom, wasn't he? With the two big fellas there, Campbell and McPherson. But McGuinness has the free kick about 25 metres out, and Baxter has been replaced on the ground by young Smith. Darren Baxter earned his pay packet today, I'm sure. McGuinness, shot for goal, and he puts it through for a belated Adelaide goal.
And a free kick out of the centre, going the way of the Crows. 9-15 plays 15-12 now after that goal from McGuinness. Campbell got front spot, couldn't complete the mark. Foster trying to tidy up at the back. It's going to be a free kick to the Dogs.
Yes, it's against Jamison, I think it was. He and I think Campbell were having a bit of a jostle, or is it going to Foster?
Foster, I think it is. Peter Foster off to Steve Wallace, who just heads subtly towards the boundary line.
Well, I don't think Footscray really care. I mean, they're going to get the 4 points even if they won by a point. No one really expected them to win. I'm sure that their fans were here with a lot of optimism, but their practice match form, as Ross has already mentioned, has been fairly ordinary.
Lee sees it over the line. It was shoveled over. Tired, frustrating look on his face. Glenn Coleman, who's had a superb day.
Yes, he's obviously just got pretty sore, I think, after having so many kicks.
Yes, he's certainly done his share. Hart gives it to Klug in extraordinary fashion. Marshall hasn't really been in the game a lot, but a lot of these Crows have been taken out as the game has progressed. Kellett.
Two young guns there really had a go at it, didn't they? Tasker and Grant, and Tasker not giving in, which is terrific to see.
Throw in again. Grant's been fantastic, hasn't he?
My word. Yep.
And we will have yet another throw in.
I think if you look through a side that has controlled the match like Footscray have, it's very difficult to find players that you wouldn't give credit to, because they've all done a job.
They've hardly had a passenger, really.
Just over 5.5 minutes remaining. Wine had front spot. Beckley first to it, but Liberatore's got him. Hart under pressure, a high kick, difficult one to grab. Hawkins did well getting in front. McIntyre gets the hand pass out straight towards Marshall. Close to the boundary line. Lee caught, ripped over the line, but he does get it away to Clue. But look at the harassment. Oh, crunch McDermott. And Footscray finish up with the football. Just continual harassment. Storming his way through was Ben Sexton, who's on for a run. He'll be keen, having watched 3.5 quarters from the boundary line.
How about the passage of play down there, Ross, at left half forward for Adelaide? I mean, Footscray
just couldn't break free, could they?
No way.
No. Which way they went, they just ran into a wall.
And the ball almost back in the centre. Libert, away he goes. He steals that one. He can have a bounce. The tired Crows can give very little at the moment. This is Ben Sexton. 4.5 minutes remaining. Look at that ball swing round. Past Justin Charles it goes. Wiedemann leading in the race, but we'll be quite happy to see it over the line. Let's go down to the boundary line. We saw Glenn Coleman with that knee. Max, is he okay?
Actually, Sandy went over and had a word to Glenn Coleman. He told me to tell Footscray supporters that he's fine. He just felt that it was time to give the younger blokes a bit of a run because he reckons he'd done enough work, and he had a bit of a smile on his face.
No, he's done a great job. Well, that's good. Well done to him today. The Dogs head towards goal once again, and it looks as though it's through. A beauty by Nigel Kellett. So Kellett gets his first, and the Dogs just go on their merry way.
Yes, you've got to admire Footscray. Today they've just persisted, and no matter what the score was, they just kept at it and at it. He nearly got nabbed for going too far here, an extra couple of steps, and he would have, but he finished off very well.
He's quite quick, Nigel Kellett. You know, he can balk and duck and weave at the last second, and that was good work there by him. 16-12 to 9-15, 3.5 minutes left in the game. Footscray go ahead once again, but breaks down because Ingerson gathers the ball, kicks it wide towards the wing. Footscray have got the numbers here. Foster leading, and just content to knock it over the boundary line. So Peter Foster will have a pleasant journey home, 150 games, and coming over here to Adelaide, and his team going home with a very, very good victory under their belt. 16-12 plays 9-15. No one really going anywhere with that football, and the umpire will be forced to bounce. Left half forward for Adelaide, about 65 to 70 metres from their goal. And the ground emptying very, very quickly. Wind standing his ground. Marshall kicked by that player into the pocket. Bounces good for Hodges. Unselfishly over the top, and Jamison will get a goal for Adelaide. Well, whoever's left have seen something good about that. Jamison's goal.
Yes, well, that's his first and one of very few touches for Rod Jamison today. And when you think he finished off his last game of last year with 8 goals against North Melbourne, it's been a very quiet start for the season for Rod Jamison. Good team play there by Hodges to get the ball free. Had either McGuinness or Jamison, the latter doing the job.
Bounce back in the centre. Wind, and Ingerson now doing the ruck work. Well done, Atkins. Had 2 goes at that. One was a little kick and one was a tap on. Now Corcoran's kicking towards the right forward pocket. A little bit too far there for Ballantyne. Hart tried to get it back. Now Ballantyne gives it away. Tasker away to Hart, and the short kick may not favour the Adelaide Crows all that much. Kellett's got the football. Can't do much with it. Maynard did reasonably well in the finish to hold the footy in, as 2 young fellas there, Colin and Darryl Hart, have something to say to each other, but I think Steve Colin could safely point to the scoreboard.
Yes, just under 2 minutes remaining now, and they're just going through the formalities. Wiedemann from the back line drifts it back in towards the centre. The mark taken by Marshall. He gets it off very quickly. Here's a chance for the Crows to run through Liptak. Centering kick, and a good one. Mark again taken by Rod Jamison, who kicked that last goal.
He hasn't had much room to move from Stanfield either.
No, not at all. And the other thing being too, Ed, is they haven't got the ball down to him in that good a fashion either, which obviously makes it far more difficult for a forward.
Jamison from 55 metres. That's a good-looking kick. That's a lovely kick off the boot, and it's a goal. 11-15, plays 16-12.
It's a fairly belated one. I'll be very interested to see what Graham Corns does at training this week with the players, whether it's a lack of discipline he sees that hasn't got them up. But a few of the players look lethargic, particularly players like Klug up in the forward line, who normally is very constructive and very effective and a prime mover for them. He really has been right out of sorts, and that's certainly not taking away from Bernard Tui. He's been his marksman for most of the day. But there's just something missing.
Good bounce in the centre. Wine beaten for it by Ingerson. Through comes Corcoran. The left foot kick towards centre half forward. Brilliantly gathered by Grant. McPherson breaks the tackle. There's players everywhere for Footscray. They'll get a goal here. Unselfishly Sexton. Over to Colin, and he won't miss from there. Brilliant football by the Bulldogs to get their 17th goal. Colin third. And they answered that goal from Jamison very, very quickly, getting the ball out of the centre. Yes. 17-12 to 11-15.
A clever kick there by McPherson. Broke 3 tackles, and the Footscray players coming to the centre just to pat young Shannon Corcoran on the back for his effort through the middle of the ground, which is good to see.
3 goals now to Steve Collingwood. And the Dogs, the first to break the ice here at Football Park in '92. Carlton did it last year after Hawthorn had been humiliated.
Geez, another good tackle by Liberatore then.
Yep. Whoever is giving the votes today will not have an easy job. And it is.
The advantage of Tony Liberatore has got is that in tackling people, you should always watch their navel around about there, and Tony Liberatore has got a very good chance of watching your navel. It's about his height, I think.
Tregenza's kick finds Wiedemann. He pumps a left foot kick high in towards goal. That could be another belated one. It is. That'll give them something to cheer about.
Yes. I think he's a bit of a hometown hero, isn't he, Wiedemann?
He's a bit of a cult figure.
There it is. The siren has sounded.
And there you see the sorry tale for the Crows. They managed only 2 goals into the breeze for the entire match. Footscray setting up victory in the 3rd quarter when they booted 4 goals without reply. And what a contrast that match was to the opening round last year when the Crows annihilated Hawthorn. Of course, Adelaide has the bye next week, so Graham Corns and his team have 2 weeks to sort out the problems. The other AFL match today was between St Kilda and Essendon. We'll have highlights of the match from 11:25 this evening, so if you don't want to know the final scores, look away now. I will tell you that less than 2 goals separated the sides throughout the day, and Tony Lockett should feature heavily in the highlights. He finished with 7 goals. We'll have more football action for you again next weekend. I look forward to seeing you then.
The 90 in front. Charge straight out of front of the Olympic sprinter. Must be quick because he's taken Lambert on and beaten him. Oh, they'll bring the joint down now. The centre wing. Oh! Jarman, great skills. Allison. The Tigers are on fire. He's got the football. Look at this. Crack. Oh, what a mark. Dale Lewis.
This could be something superb.
This has been another 7 Sport production, the network of the 1992 Barcelona Olympics.
Football 92, proudly brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, BP Australia, CUB, Westpac, Rocker Brothers and Foodland.